Okay, I think we are live. I mean, we should be. Yep, there we are. Hi everyone, it's Global Scholarships and I'm your host Az. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great. And as always, today we are here with another weekly live stream, another Friday live stream. If you're new here, we do this every Friday. Basically, we do a Q&A live stream, but we also talk about like different stuff about scholarships that are currently open for application, opportunities that you can take right now. And as always, I'm here joined by Eamon, our expert. Hi, Eamon. How are you? How are things going?
Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well too. Thank you very much. So, everyone, we are Global Scholarships. If you are new here, this is a Q&A live stream. If you have any questions about studying abroad, about applying to universities, about scholarships, etc. I'm sorry, it's going to be a little loud, but I have to turn this on. Just feel free to ask them at any point in the chat. More detailed, the better. It could be about anything that is related to studying abroad. That's why we have Eamon with us, our expert. If you're new here, we are Global Scholarships. We have a platform, as you can see, this is our website, globalscholarships.com. This is completely free. Like, this is just free information, which is a ton of information about studying abroad, about scholarships, etc. Hi there, James Bond. Can you make application tutorial for Italian universities? So I think I've made a couple for like University of Bologna, University of Padua. I cannot really make a tutorial for like a specific country. I usually try to go for like some of the best universities in a specific country. For example, in Italy, like top one university, maybe the second, the third. Obviously, like the application deadlines kind of come into play. Yeah, those are relatively easy, and both University of Bologna and University of Padua are great opportunities because not only their tuition tuitions are like extremely affordable, but they also have great scholarships. Yeah, also I recently made a video about the cost of studying in Italy. That might also interest you if you're planning to apply to any Italian universities. So, right, welcome to the live stream, by the way. So yeah, as you can see, we make a lot of videos, a lot of informative stuff about this subject. We have YouTube videos, we have live streams, we have shorts. If you have any questions, you can just come into our live streams and ask. We also have a website, which is a great website because it's completely free. As you can see, there is no pricing. This is our homepage. No, like, create an account, register, give us your information so we can sell it or something. It's just you can go to our website right now. This is our homepage, and you can just simply look for guides, or you can use our search tool to find scholarships that are eligible, suitable for you. I'm going to show you how to use that. So as you can see, we have like guides about countries, about cheap universities, about English taught universities, which are, I think, really becoming more and more important as a lot of English speaking countries are becoming a little less welcoming to foreign students. I think people are going to be more interested in like English taught universities in other countries, like Germany, for example. There are a lot of programs, there are a lot of universities that you can study in English in Germany, and it is more affordable in terms of like tuition and etc. compared to, let's say, United States, to Canada, Australia, and I'd say recently more welcome. Anyway, so English taught universities, we are making videos about these as well. We have cost of studying and living in a country. Like, if you are planning to study in a country but you have no idea how much you would need every month, usually they have very good information that they share in places that are not extremely easy to find, but we find them and we try to share them with you. Hey, I'm Zambian, says Rashid Gandhi. By nationality, can you help me apply? So that kind of depends on what do you want to apply for. For example, if you have a specific university in mind, if you are speaking in general about scholarships, let me show you how to use our search tool. So At globalscholarships.com, we have a free search tool to find scholarships. You can just type in a country, type in a nationality or anything, or just hit enter. It'll show you all of the scholarships that in our database. So we have about 4,500 scholarships. These are scholarships that are given by universities to new coming international students, right? So there are some external scholarships as well, but mainly university scholarships. So you can use these filters to filter for you. For example, you are looking for a bachelor scholarship, but when it comes to nationality, it doesn't matter all that much. Let me show you. For example, we have 4,500 scholarships here, right? Rashid. So I'm gonna filter for Zambia, all right? And as you can see, we've lost about 300 of them because most scholarships don't really care about nationality. Sometimes they have like different requirements for different nationalities. Sometimes when you apply to universities, university applications do have different requirements for different regions. Let's say, for example, if you're applying from European Union, it's different. If you're applying from an English-speaking country, it's different. If you're applying from a China or like an Asian country, it's different. So, but usually they're all available for any nation. For example, let's see, need-based financial aid at University of Pennsylvania, right? You can click into this, into any one of these. Let me share the link with you, actually, how to use our search tool, right? So as you can see, yeah, there are some eligible nationalities here. All nationalities except Canada, Cote d'Ivoire, Kosovo, Mexico, and USA. For example, you would be eligible for this, all right? So I'd advise you to go in, like look for programs, scholarships, maybe universities or countries that you might be interested in. For example, you can ask about those to have kind of a more detailed, specific plan, and perhaps then we can help you a little better, right? Anyway, so yeah, this is our search tool. You can just search for anything, use these filters. Let's say if you are looking for bachelor scholarships, let's say you have a specific country in mind. I want to study in Germany, I want to study in United States, United Kingdom. Different countries have different amounts, different ways of approaching foreign students. Some of them are more welcoming, some of them are like, some countries give you a lot of scholarships, but also tuitions are very expensive. So you would have to get a scholarship to be able to study in that country anyway. Some countries are not really charging tuition fees, like Germany, but they also therefore don't give you a lot of scholarships, etc. So different countries have different kind of profiles. So you would like looking into those would give you a lot of information. Let's say United States. I want to study in the United States. Funding type. So funding type means basically what amount it covers. So it could be, there are three different types of funding: partial, full tuition, and full funding. Like kind of you can get from the name. Partial means it's less than the tuition fees. For example, if a university is charging about $30,000, $40,000 tuition fee, this might be some discount, like 50% tuition discount, or like we're gonna give you $5,000. That's it. That will be partial funding. Full tuition means it covers however much the tuition is in that university. That's it, nothing else. And full funding means it covers the tuition, and then it gives you something a little bit more, like could be accommodation, could be health insurance. Sometimes, usually they give like stipends, like I don't know, like $500 every month or something like that. Of course, full funding scholarships are more generous, and there are fewer of those, so they're more difficult to come by. Bachelors preferably in USA or United Kingdom. So okay, let's say, yeah, this is what we are looking at actually. Bachelors, United States, full funding. So there are full funding scholarships for bachelors in the United States. Usually, they are need-based financial aid programs. Basically, that kind of if you're a really good student, you can apply to this university, get the financial aid program if you get in, and it covers all your demonstrated needs. So like you give them a lot of information about your like tax situation, your financial situation, and then they can cover all of that. Hang on, is there a connection problem? Nope, everything is working well. Anyway, so USA, let me share the link with you for this. You can look into any one of these. Usually, need-based financial aid programs are kind of similar to each other. Also, if you're interested, I think like 5 days ago, 4 days ago, we made a video about financial aid program in Harvard University. You can look at that. And basically, other financial aid programs are pretty much the same. If you are looking for full funding scholarships in the United States, usually they are need-based financial aids. Other than that, like full funding scholarships are mostly given to, like other types of scholarships are mostly given to graduate students. Although there's one that we're going to talk about today. It's a full funding scholarship in the United States. When it comes to United Kingdom, um, so there are some scholarships, not that many, especially full funding, and usually a lot of the full funding scholarships are kind of like sanctuary, asylum seeker, reach Oxford is pretty much the same. Um, refugee scholarship, like usually that type of programs. So they might be maybe available for you. Good now from Zambia. I'm not sure what is going on there exactly. So yeah, you can look into that. Um, both USA and United Kingdom are pretty expensive, both in terms of tuition fees and living. Usually, like a lot of the universities you would go, a lot of the places you would live in United Kingdom would be quite expensive. In the United States, since the country is quite large, there are really expensive parts and there are way more affordable parts, like in New York, California, San Francisco, those places. Like it would be really, really difficult to live on a budget. But if you're going to like some or Midwestern, perhaps, it's much more. I would look into Texas, by the way. For example, they have some good scholarships, good like large universities, and like booming economy, and also not as expensive as like New York or California. So yeah, these are the advices I can give. Ayman, would you say something about this? Like maybe you would mention some insights that I haven't thought of.
Um, I think you covered it all basically. I don't really have much to add. Uh, your answer was pretty comprehensive. Um, just one thing is that most scholarships don't really care about your nationality. Most of them are for everyone.
Mhm.
You might want to target those that are for specifically for your country because they will be
Yeah.
less competitive in a sense, but like that's pretty much all I have to add.
Yeah, and some scholarships can, for example, government scholarships, they can have different quotas for different nationalities. So I think that's the case for like Japanese government scholarship, Korean government scholarship. So if you think that there are less people applying from your country, you might look into those because that kind of gives you a little better, like higher chance than someone applying from, let's say, United States. Real Madrid fan page says, "Sir, please can you help me with some example of undergraduate motivation letter for government scholarship?" I think we have uh, motivation letter. Like we have guides on that. Unfortunately, I'm not very well informed about a lot of those. Let me share the link to our guides. Maybe you would be like interested in one of these. Also, of course, as always, whenever I don't know anything about something specifically, I'll defer to Eamon. Eamon, what would you say? Eamon?
So are they looking for a sample, something of a motivation letter?
I think that might be it, actually.
Um, yeah, I don't think even if you find any, it wouldn't be much of anything to you because a personal letter is personal. So a letter of motivation would be totally up to you and it would literally be about you. So I think reading others would just influence yours in a way that you don't want them to. I think you just should approach it in a way that you tell a story about you, you talk about yourself as a person and as an academic. But I don't think that uh, reading any sample would do you any good. I think you should know the structure, but reading an example wouldn't be the best idea in this case. And the more you read, the more influenced you are by the ideas of others that you wouldn't really be talking about yourself in a sense. Um, that is why I wouldn't recommend it. And that's why people don't even share their letters of motivation online or with others. So they share it with people that are close to them for feedback, but it stops there. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, uh, it should be 100% about you, because in the back of your head, you're reading some motivation letters, and you say these people got into college because of these motivation letters, and then unconsciously you're incorporating some of their ideas into yours, which would not totally be truthful to your situation. Maybe you can try to make it work for you, but at the same time, it wouldn't sound as genuine as theirs because they're telling their actual story, they're telling their actual background as people and as academics. So the best advice I can give you is look for the structure, but just write your own. Don't be influenced by any other letters of motivation.
Yeah, there are a lot of great guides on the internet where you can find information about like how to structure it. I've shared the link for our guide, and if you like read it and still have any specific questions, you can just leave them in our comment section. Hyun Lee, who is the founder of Global Scholarships, answers all of every single question in our comment section, basically. So yeah, okay. So yeah. As I said, we have a lot of other stuff here. Like we have country guides, for example. If you're interested in a specific country, you can look for that. Basically, these are kind of collections of guides. Let's say you want to study in Japan, you can click on this and like see all of our guides about that specific country. You're very welcome, Real Madrid fan page. If you have any other questions about anything else, just let us know. How to find programs, how to apply to universities, um, like proficiency, financing your studies, which is obviously, I'd say that that's the most important thing for a lot of people because like none of this really, none of these, all of these really matters unless you can finance your education. Are there fully funded master's scholarships in cybersecurity, and how are my chances as a Yemeni student? So first of all, let's start with the first part of that question. Um, so I'm going to tell you about how to look for a specific subject in our search tool. Let's say masters. let's say full funding, and as subject, let's say if let's see if yeah, cybersecurity. Now, when you choose a specific subject in our search tool in filters, what our search tool does is first it shows you the scholarships that specifically mention that program. Like for example, if a program scholarship program is for cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, etc., like a couple of programs, specific programs, first it will show you that. But then when it runs out of those, it'll show you scholarships for all subjects. These are all subjects. Like for example, Schwarzman Scholars in Tsinghua University, which is the highest ranking university in China, for example. This could be a great opportunity for you. This is currently open for application, by the way, because Tsinghua University not only is the highest ranking university in China, but I think it's like in the top 10 or somewhere close to that globally as well. So it's a really good university, and China is doing really well on subjects like cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, etc., etc. So what it does is basically when it says all subjects, it means all subjects that are offered by this university. For example, you can look into these. Let's say you want to study in United States and you are interested in this graduate assistantship. What you would have to do is you'd have to go to this university, right? And then see if they are offering a program in cybersecurity. If they are, it means that you can apply for this scholarship through that program. If they're not offering, obviously you cannot apply because you cannot get in the university for that program. So when it comes to being from Yemen, Yemen, basically doesn't really matter as we talked about. You can choose this. How'd that happen? Hang on. Right. So when it's all nationalities, it's 171. When it's only Yemen, it's 188. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, let me share the link with you. So yeah, usually most scholarships don't really care much about your nationality. Anyone, would you like to add anything about this question before we move on?
Yeah, I think that's all I would have said as well. So I think it's the same question as the one before. It's just like the fully funded scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess it's the same advice as before.
Okay, next question is very specific. I'm not even gonna try to. Can you give as 70%, 75%, and 100% scholarships full process without proficiency test? I don't think I even understand this question. What would you say, Eamon?
I think they mean, can you get a 75% or 100% scholarship in a fully funded one without an English or language proficiency test? Um, so I think we had a similar question last week, and
Yeah.
uh, basically what the answer would be is that the only way you could be exempted from the English proficiency test is that if you completed your previous studies in the language of the country you're going to, so you can get a certificate from your university that you had your previous education in whatever language it is. It doesn't have to be English. Or if you are considered a native speaker of that language in your country. So, for example, people from Nigeria are generally exempted from English exams because Nigeria is considered an English-speaking country. Some parts of India and most English-speaking countries, of course. So these are the only two situations where you would be exempted. Otherwise, you need an English proficiency test to get into the university in the first place before you are even considered for scholarships.
Yeah. um, I don't I don't know how can you like how can you get into any university in another country without speaking the language. Uh, but I mean, they ask about proficiency test. Okay. So if you have any other questions, you're very welcome, Mix. Any other questions, just feel free to ask them in the chat. One thing that we have, another thing that we have that I think it's really like underrated, like doesn't get enough love is the fact that we have scholarship stories. These are great. Like a lot of the questions you are asking us, you wouldn't have to ask them if you looked into our scholarship stories. Basically, these are stories of people who have won some of the like most popular great scholarships, right? For example, someone who have earned Chevening scholarship, Chinese government scholarship, Inigo scholarship, Australia Award scholarship or Australian government scholarship, MEGS scholarship or Japanese government scholarship. So we have a ton, like literally hundreds and hundreds of these scholarship stories, and you can click on any one of them and read about their entire stories, like how they get the scholarship, their background, how they prepare, like their GPA, where are they from, what would they have done differently, their like English Duolingo test, whatever. And not only that, but also you can uh, contact them to ask your questions directly to someone who have achieved what you want to achieve through LinkedIn or their social media accounts. Basically, a lot of them give their social media contact links, so you can, for example, filter for country. Like as you can see, we have a lot. Like United Kingdom have almost 150. Let's say you're interested in the United States, Fulbright scholarship, for example. This person got Fulbright scholarship. Let's click on this link and learn about their story, what they have done to earn this scholarship, and then their LinkedIn account, basically, where you can ask them your questions directly. Michael, why do they ask for English proficiency? Some of us come from countries where English is taught from beginning to the end. So if you're talking about being from a country where the English is the main language of education, usually those countries are exempted. Like like I'm not sure where you're from, but yeah, if it's kind of like native language, usually those places are exempted. It kind of depends, I believe, on the university. I don't think there is a universally accepted categorization which countries are exempted and not, and it kind of depends on the university. Am I wrong, Eamon?
Um, Basically, I don't know about s- in the case where you have completed your studies in English, they wouldn't ask for the English proficiency test in the first place. Some countries, in some countries, you're not taught in English at all. So in those countries, you would need the English proficiency test, and it's usually for those countries. But for the most part, if you have completed your previous studies in English, you can just get a certificate from your high school or your university if you had an undergraduate degree there, and they would accept the certificate because you've already proved that you are able to finish a whole degree that is taught in English. So there is no need for any other proof. This is the way they go about it. So they wouldn't know if you actually finished your previous studies in English or any other language unless you can prove it, and that's why you just get a certificate from your university or high school.
Okay, thank you. So, Sanju Nepali says, can I get scholarship detail about Austria? So, we don't have a lot of full funding scholarships in Austria, I believe. We have none, really. Okay, let's look at full tuition ones. So you can look into these. I think this is a good scholarship. Actually, let me look at the tuitions. I'm not sure about how are the tuitions of universities in Austria. Well, they're I mean, 1,500 euros is extremely affordable. Let's say North of Lebanon, Klagenfurt. So I'm looking to hi there, Karukapura. Welcome to our live stream. So Sanju, I'm looking at tuition fees mainly because there are some countries uh, who are not offering a lot of full funding scholarships, but usually that's because their tuition fees are not very high. So they have like partial scholarships that can give you like, let's say in Germany, for example, they'll give you 1,000 euros a month, but they won't cover your tuition fees because the university is also already doesn't really they don't charge any tuition fees, or it's like a couple of hundred, 1,000 euros a year. So they look like they're just partial funding scholarships, but actually they kind of act like full funding scholarships, right? So, for example, this one is also very affordable. Eamon, what would you say? Like, would you? I don't really have anything to say, anything that I can say about like in general tuition fees in Austria. What do you think is the overall range?
The range is probably between 1,500 euros to 4,000. I
Right.
think that would be my estimation. It is quite low.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so education is quite affordable in Austria, and that's why, as you said, there aren't many scholarships offered,
Yeah.
especially at the undergraduate, maybe master's level, but you would find scholarships for PhD. Um, yeah, so that's just the only reason uh, they don't offer that many scholarships is because similar to many countries in the region, education is quite affordable. It's not free like Germany, a neighboring country, but uh, it is up there when it comes to affordability.
Okay, thank you. So Sanjay, I'm gonna share this link with you. I would advise you to look into partial scholarships as well, because as you can see, the tuitions are already not that unaffordable. Like, for example, this is Austria. If like for if you want to study in the United Kingdom, you'd have to pay about like 20-30,000 pounds every year. Uh, so, for example, these scholarships give you like cash awards about like a couple of 1,000 euros, and maybe if you look, there are some more generous scholarships. A new student scholarship at Webster Vienna Private University. Although this is a private university, so I'm not sure about tuition. Hang on, let me see the tuition actually. Yeah, it's high. So it's a private university. Legacy tuition funding scholarships in University of Salzburg. All right. It covers grants ranging from about like 3,000, 4,000 euros. So yeah, look into those. They are not really very generous scholarships, but that's mainly because the education is you already quite affordable compared to a lot of other countries, of course. Hello, Ken. Hello, other regular shorts. Hello, can one apply early track for two unis at once? I would defer to that. Defer to Eamon for that, who I think will give us a very quick answer. Eamon?
Um, so when you say early track, there are two kinds. So there is early action and there is early decision. Early action is non-binding, which means that you can apply to as many universities as you want as early action. But if it's early decision, that means you are committing to that university, you can't apply to multiple ones. So if accepted, you are there's a binding agreement that you have to accept that university that you apply to. So if you apply to two, then now you are bound to two universities, which you can't commit to both. So don't do that. Only so if you're applying, apply only action, and that would be fine. But if it's early decision, you can only apply to one university that you are going to be committed to, if accepted, that is.
Right. Who's looking for cybersecurity scholarships? So, for example, you know what? I'm going to share this with you. This is a good opportunity. It's past deadline now. Sorry. Okay. Farov says, is it possible to do medicine there? Where? With just IGCSE? Eamon, do you think you can answer this question, or do you think we need more information before?
Yeah, I think that would depend on the university, to be honest. So I wouldn't really be able to give you a definitive answer either way. I'm not even sure it's possible, and I'm not sure if it's not possible, because this all depends on individual universities and what degree they require for each course they offer. Um, you'll have to go through universities you're interested in and then see the requirements to enter to the medical course and see if IGCSE is among the previous education degrees that are accepted to be eligible for the course. Otherwise, I wouldn't really know.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are any other questions, feel free to let us know. So today we're going to talk about a specific scholarship that is open for application right now. It's in the United States. It's full funding. It's William Randolph. Oh, just as at this moment, our Zoom call has ended. Let me just jump into the next one so we can carry on. Oh my god, it's so hot in here. Okay. Eamon, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can hear you as well. I think also you are audible in the live stream.
I should be.
Okay, good. Yeah, William Randolph Hearst Endowed Scholarship at Belmont University 2025. This is in the United States. It's for bachelors. It's full funding. It's currently open for application, and only 5 people gets it every 5 people get it every year. But it's a very generous scholarship, and you don't have to apply for this. Basically, it covers full tuition, room or board accommodations, books, and additional fees. Belmont University is not a huge university. It's small. It's in Nashville. I think Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville is in Tennessee, right? I think so. So earlier I talked about how like United Kingdom is quite expensive, but in United States, since the country is so large, you would find a lot of places that are way more affordable compared to like New York, San Francisco, or like even a lot of places in Europe. So, for example, Tennessee, Nashville would be one of those places. So this place would also already be quite affordable compared to a lot of other places in the United States. So the school is kind of I think it's a bit old, like the one of the earlier universities. So it's a good university if you want to study in United States, and especially you don't have a lot of money to like spend on your living costs. So it would already not be very much expensive, but also you have a scholarship that you can apply to. Tuition is about $40,000, but this scholarship kind of covers that. Like, this is not really all that expensive compared to other universities in the United States. Like, this amount of tuition is something you will have to deal with one way or another, maybe with a scholarship, maybe with something else. If you want to study in the United States or Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, those places. So we have the like if you want to see how to apply, you can just check out our links. We have the deadlines here. There are other scholarships as well, as you can see. How many scholarships are there exactly? 8. So yeah, this is the university. It's a good university, not a very large one. So again, the scholarship covers full tuition, it covers room or board accommodations, it covers books and addition fees. Doesn't give you a living stipend, but again, if you have to cover your own living expenses, this is one of the better places you can pick in the United States. Like you would genuinely not want to know like how much price difference there are between different places in the United States. So there isn't any eligibility criteria. Just be an international bachelor student. There is no application to talk about. And if you have any questions, as you can see, you can just leave them in our comment section. And as you can see, they're all answered. I genuinely have no idea how he finds time to answer all of them. If you want to get more information, you can just click here, official scholarship page, to get more information, of which there are not that many, really, not that much. Yeah, this is pretty much. There are other scholarships as well. Hang on, it's not here. Endowed scholarships. Hmm. I'm pretty sure it was here.
Um,
Did they change this page?
it's
Anyway,
it's
that's
right under the table. Yeah, yeah. There. Uh, no, it's competitive. Yeah, most competitive. Uh,
right. Okay.
no, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah. So you can get more information here. And well, that's pretty much it. Not much to say. You don't have to. By the way, for the Harvard application, Harvard had provided application fee waiver on their website. Yeah, you can also apply for a fee waiver on Common App as well. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure what that last message was. Might be your password for something. So okay, students selected for consideration in top scholarship process will have initially qualified for the trustee scholarship. Yeah, you get the idea. Anyway, Eamon, oh, I see. Eamon, do you want to say anything about this scholarship specifically?
Um, Actually, yes. So there is one thing that I find quite interesting about this scholarship that they probably added recently in the eligibility criteria section. I think we don't have that on our side because they changed it. But one of the requirements is a cumulative high school GPA above 4.5 on a 4.0 scale. I think if you read that, you ask yourself, how would it be 4.5 out of 4? So if even if you get top marks on everything, you would still have a GPA of 4.0 on a scale of 4.0. But in most cases where the cumulative GPA requirement exceeds the GPA, it would be a weighted CGPA, which means that if a course is considered challenging that you have done in high school, say, I don't know, mathematics, if you get the full mark, if you get an A, the A would count as a 5.0 rather than a 4.0. And so this is throughout the years because it's cumulative. So you would need a lot of A's in order to at least get the 4.5. You can get more, but the minimum requirement here is 4.5. So you need A's on courses that are honors or that are considered more challenging than others in order to achieve this. Yeah, so I'm not sure if there are high schools who offer that in many countries, which makes getting this scholarship uh more challenging because the GPA is not really optional and cannot be substituted for the SAT or ACT score because it's the GPA plus the ACT score. Um, and they say if a test is submitted, which means that the optional part is the standardized tests rather than your GPA. So your high school would have needed to offer this as an option where they give you uh, the weighted GPA. Although I would maybe say that you can submit your GPA, and if you have A's throughout your high school studies, you can tell the universities that although it's not reflected uh, on the document you provided, but they can probably do that themselves, and they can see if that you got A's like for the entire duration of your studies in high school. They would probably consider recalculating your GPA based on the documents you provided. But I can't be sure that this university would do it, but I believe that many do because
Okay,
there's
thank you.
always conversion. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
There's always conversion because some high schools would have different scales and they always convert that to their own scale, which means that there would be consideration for that if you have A's throughout.
Okay, thank you very much. Although, here it says a strong candidate typically has a cumulative high school GPA above 4.5. I don't think here it says it's kind of like a requirement to have that. Am I misreading it, or does it say that in somewhere else?
Yeah, but they generally don't say anything at all, but this is, they tell you usually people who get the scholarship, this is what they
Oh,
have. So they have
I
a
see.
GPA of about, yeah.
All right, okay. So yeah, thanks again. Man, look at this. Usually think of USA, you think of like a highly very or urbanized place, but like it's a very large place, and a lot of it is just like vegetation, basically. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much it for this scholarship, guys. It's a really good scholarship. You right now have some other school like financial aid programs in the United States, and we talked about one of them very recently. So this week I want to do something different. This is not a financial aid program. Not It's not even need based, is it? I don't think so. So yeah, it's a good scholarship. That's pretty much it about this one. And if you don't have any other questions, it's pretty much it about this for this live stream. We are here every Friday. If you have any questions, you can just come in, ask them. Just more detailed, the better. Sometimes I try to do my best answering like comments in the comment section, but usually I don't have enough time to do that, and a lot of times that's because I don't have the answer at the ready. Like I'd have to go and do a whole lot of research to be able to answer them. So sometimes I don't have a lot of enough time to answer all of them. But always, if you have any questions and it goes unanswered in the comment section, you can just come to our live streams, ask them, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this after the live stream on VOD, thank you very much for watching. And Eamon, thank you for joining me here today.
Oh, thank you for having me, as.
Okay. All right, then, everyone. We'll
Well.
be here next Friday at the same time. And bye. Have a nice week.